What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick player of the week review today. Let me know if you guys want the national team selection builds and reviews, and of course the worldwide national team selection as well. There's a couple of league ones in here as well. You've got the Brazilian league. These are all still ongoing, but for now we are going to concentrate on the worldwide. We'll also have the Grande Milan player builds and reviews for Franco Baresi, Massaro, who's a new legend, and of course Albertini. But for now, we're going to go and focus on the player of the week. So I actually did spin for these. I was very interested to get Jamal Musiala, even though I have the beastly version of Musiala on my own squad. I just felt like that this Musiala could have been really nice as a centre forward. Very unique. I like unique cards. That's where I'm at with the game at the moment now, is testing out different things. You know, you can go on a 5-6 win streak ratio, but or a run, but I just feel like that the game is best played at the moment when you're having fun with the game and trying new things, right? You also have Arda Güler in there as well. You've got Griezmann with his first booster as a CF, and of course you've got Mkhitaryan there as well. Now the rest of the squad here, the three boys we got, Sancho, I know a lot of people have been asking about him. We actually did spin for him. It's not a bad card, honestly. It's not a bad card. He can play left or right wing or left or right mid. 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 88 balance and tight possession. Of course, all of those stats are going to get up past the 90 mark with a good manager. It's a fairly decent prolific winger. He also has ball carrying and he has a flip-flap, double touch and soul control. The problem is, I think that there's just so many good wingers at the moment, and a lot of people don't play wingers. If they are playing wide players, it's usually Roman flank and one prolific winger, which means you're going to be up against pretty much every other winger in the game, either side of the pitch. But it's not a bad spin if you do get him. Any of these boys back here, lads, I really don't recommend, especially if you're playing with a proper squad in terms of like pushing past Division 4-3 and all the way up to 2-1. Like, yeah, they can do a job for you, but this guy's just too slow and clunky. 195. I've actually played with an older card of his on my free to play. He's not bad. I mean, he doesn't have acrobatic clearance, which is a bit of a pity, and you can't give, skills to these cards, so it's a small bit of a pity. Lads, I'm in my onesie as well because it's absolutely freezing, and the throat is gone from all the streaming. But we're still here. 88 defensive awareness, 87 tackling. And it's an okay card. At this stage, you're going to have a 90 plus in 4 stats: heading, defensive, awareness, tackling, and of course, jumping and physical contact. So 5 stats there in total that are going to be over the 90. But for a destroyer, you probably need a little bit more bark and a bit more bite as well, right? Mkhitaryan, very, very solid card as well. Actually pretty decent, pretty nimble on the pitch. I always kind of feel that he's a bit slow, but I haven't played him in a long time. But down as a box-to-box, I think box-to-box are wasted if they don't have aggression at 80. It's just my opinion. He's got passing +3. I think the passing at the moment, it needs a big update. We've talked about the updates. I'm going to do a video on what I need changed. I've been editing it for 20 plus hours at the moment. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. That's what she said. No, but honestly, there is a lot of stuff that needs to be added to the game. These three boys at the back here, we get our other featured card, which is Yoshida, who's a centre back, and he is playing for LA Galaxy. 75 speed, 72 acceleration, not too bad. And again, you're going to be looking at him as a destroyer, but he does have acrobatic clearance. He has aerial superiority, his heading, blocker, interception, fighting spirit. Pretty solid card. A lot of the Japanese cards do have really good kind of like player ID and stuff. Isaacsen, this whole player is a right midfielder. He doesn't have a face from Wish as usual. 89 speed, 91 acceleration. That's obviously going to get a bit of a boost. And he does have some nice skills. Super sub being the pick of him, probably to bring him on if you're looking for something different. All these cards here, let's come back. Darun, El Sharari, and all the boys that I've already mentioned. Goalkeeper, we don't really need to talk about the goalkeepers. I mean, if you are struggling with goalkeepers, just buy Courtois or Donnarumma from the standard GP marketplace if you're just starting off. You don't need to be spinning with the hopes of getting a 91 rated goalkeeper here, right? But all of these boys from back, and I would include Sancho in that. Sancho is decent as a booster, but El Shah as well as a deep line forward. He is overshadowed, of course, by Musiala. We'll get to in a second. But this card here, double touch soul control, and he doesn't have flip flap. You can't give it to him, but he has super sub. He's got true passing. He doesn't have one touch pass. He doesn't have first time shot. He does have a lot of nice skills, long range curler, and outside curler, but he doesn't have one touch pass, and his passing is quite decent. But first time shot for a striker is kind of a must unless you're kind of carrying the ball a lot. Mostly when you get the ball at their feet of deep line forwards, they need to be brought into the play a little bit. But it's not a bad card. I remember when this guy was unbelievable in the older PES games. His eyebrows look good though, I will say that. But any of these cards that you're seeing here, I would probably include these 6 players at the back here, or these 7 guys, right? They're probably more for a kind of like free-to-play squad. These boys up here, right? So we already mentioned Sancho, but Güler is probably a similar position to him. He does have a face now in game. He doesn't get the booster, but his balance stat, his tight possession stat, his dribbling stat, and his acceleration stat are all going to be over 90, which is very nice. His attacking awareness is going to be 80 with a good manager. His ball control and dribbling is going to be really high as well. It's going to be right there where you need it. His low pass is going to be good. His finishing is going to be over 80. Very, very solid whole player, but he can't play SS, right? That's a bit of a pity for this card because he does have really nice player skills that track well with that. But it's a lovely card. I played with him on my player of the week type team, and he was beastly. He got one of the best goals I've scored in a long time. Absolute beautiful kind of finesse dribble, and then a pop and stop, boom. Griezmann as well, another goal poacher. Looks really, really nice in the game as well. Griezmann is just very, very silky in the game. That's how I would pronounce, or how I would kind of like say he is, or describe how he is. He's not rocket fast, like, right? But he's kind of like that mix. He kind of feels a bit like Cruyff to me, that, you know, a little bit more nimble than Cruyff, right? I've struggled to play with Cruyff, but the last version of Cruyff was really good, and this version of Griezmann looks to pick as well from this. And I would also say that, look, I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that Jamal Musiala is going to be the main man here, lads. Honestly, it's a fantastic card. Soul control, double touch, chop, turn, long range curler, first time shot, one touch pass. That's what we're talking about. He doesn't have flip flap. That means he can't do the ball roll. You can't train him to have the ball roll, but he does have gamesmanship and super sub. But again, first time shot and one touch pass for a CF goal poacher. That's a very unique build. 88 speed, 89 acceleration, 83 kicking power. That's going to be absolutely perfection, right above the thresholds of where you need it to be. Get the perfect manager, you've got 90 balance. You've got stamina over 85 with the manager boost. You've got attacking awareness, ball control, dribbling, tight possession, and low pass and finishing, all near 90 or around the 90 mark. With curl over 85 as well. It's a beautiful card, definitely the pick of him. And I would say with Musiala's player ID, this is probably one of the best player of the weeks they've ever released. Honestly, just try him out. However, if you have this Musiala, right, this is the Germany big time. This is definitely a card I don't regret spinning for. He's an absolute demon, lads. Probably my favorite attacking midfielder after Hoynes, honestly. And that's not even me, you know, messing or just saying it because it's relevant now because he's out as a card. Now, we have trained him as an SS, right? You can see there, we've added SS and right wing. So he can play left wing, right wing, SS, AMF, CMF, left mid. It's just a phenomenal card. Now, we actually did throw a blocker on him by accident. That was a bit of a brain fart by me and fighting spirit. But he has weighted pass. He's got double touch, chop, turn, soul control. We probably should have given him flip flap. We probably will when we get more skills. First time shot. He doesn't have one touch pass, which the new Musiala does have. But look at these stats, man. 94 speed, 98 acceleration, 95 balance, 85 kicking power, 85 curl, 88 finishing. And then the dribbling is absolutely insane as well. Perfectly balanced card. And probably one of the most fun cards. Like, he's often won games for me, him and Hoynes, in that attacking midfielder role. So if you have him, I probably wouldn't spin for the player of the week, even though it's a CF and it's a very unique build. This card is down as a whole player. You can still play him as an SS and just play somebody else as a CF. But if you do get him, he definitely is the pick of this week's player of the week. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you in a bit. Peace.